Hello everybody, Professor Zanilovic here. In this lecture we're going to discuss Microsoft Excel Chapter 1, in particular Chapter 1b. So what is in Chapter 1b? You're going to learn how to engage the spell checker. This is more of a review because you already have learned how to use the spell checker in Microsoft Word. Spell checker in Microsoft Office applications pretty much works the same across all Office applications. For those of you that have a keyboard with numeric keypad, you're going to learn a time-saving activity where you can select a range of cells and use your numeric keypad to enter data. We're also going to learn how to use arithmetic operators in math formulas. I'm going to touch on Quick Analysis tool. This is another productivity tool in Microsoft Excel, and we're going to learn the difference between relative and absolute reference and how to correctly copy absolute reference using fill handle. When you use formulas, numeric values that participate in calculations are interconnected. When you make changes to one of the cells, Excel immediately computes the result. You're going to learn how to do that. In previous lectures, we learned about formatting sheets using different commands that you found on the ribbon. These were namely applied to labels or text. In this lecture, you're going to learn how to apply formatting to numeric data. So what is formatting? Recall that formatting is the process of specifying appearance of cells to change overall look and feel of your worksheet. So you do that by applying various commands found on the ribbon, such as styles. You have title style, heading 1, heading 2, and you also have themed colors and things that you've used to make your spreadsheet visually appealing. In addition to that, you're going to learn how to add more rows, more columns, and also to change, for example, theme colors and adjust column widths and stuff like that. All right, we have a lot to cover, so let's get started. Start Excel, like so. Type Excel. Start it. Open a blank workbook. This is a generic name. You see it says Book 1. Save it under different name. Since this is a generic name, Save and Save As behave the same. Click on Save and save it in location of your choice. I'm going to save mine in a directory that I've created here for our class. Here CGS 1060, and I'm going to call this my last name. First name initial E for Excel-1B. Click Save. Have a look at the title bar. It should reflect the new file name. Start off by entering some data. I'm going to make this a little bigger so it can be more like so, 130. Go to cell A1 and type the following: Western Mountains Warehouse. Press the Enter key. Exercise Equipment. Inventory. Press the Enter key. Move to cell B3 and type the following: quantity, average cost. Press the Tab key, type retail price. Press the Tab key, total retail price. Press the Tab key and type percent of total retail value. Press the Enter key. Go to cell A4 and purposely misspell word treadmill. So T-R-A-E-D-M-I-L-L, treadmill, like that. Press the Enter key and type rowers, elliptical trainers, exercise bike. Press the Enter key and type total retail value for all products. Okay, save your work. Position your cursor between columns A and B like so. When the cursor changes to this shape of a bar with two arrows in opposing directions, click left mouse button, and what values do you see in the tooltip? Drag to the right, if you're on Windows, to 220 pixels. If you're on a Mac, make it 185 pixels. There you go, here's 185. Okay. You can drag it to any position that you want. The point here is that you know how to set specific column width by going in between column headings, holding the left mouse button and dragging until you see specified column width. Okay, click on A1, hold the left mouse button, keep dragging until you select F1. Make sure you're in the Home tab, go to the Alignment function group, find Merge and Center. Let's style this. Go to Cell Styles and apply the title style to this cell. Go to cell A2, left mouse button click. This time, hold the Shift key, skip all the way to F1, left mouse button click to make your selection. Go to Merge and Center in the Alignment function group, go to Cell Styles and choose Heading 1. Click away and save your work. Those are two different ways to make your selection of a group of cells. Now that we have some data in here, let's perform a spell check. Spell check is found under Review. All the way to the left you have Proofing function group and you have Spelling. Here's a keyboard shortcut, function key F7. If you just press that, it will perform the spell check on your document. However, my active cell currently is M8. How do I know that? Well, this is a visual cue. This column heading is selected, and so is this row heading. In addition to that, M8 is displayed in the name box, so that tells me that is my active cell. If I was to start spell check, it would start from there. When you decide to perform spell check, it is always good practice to start at the top of your document. Click in A1. If you are on Windows, you can use Control Home to move to cell 1. So hold the Control key, find the Home key on your keyboard and press those two together. It is going to take you to A1. Now that we're in A1, engage the spell checker. Here I have another word that I misspelled. It's P-R-O-C. It needs to be price. And it found it. These suggestions here do not automatically just say change, change, change. This is for you, the human, to review the suggestion and then make a decision. This looks good. I meant to type price, so I'm going to change it. And here's my treadmill that I misspelled on purpose. Click on change to make that change. Down here we have total retail is misspelled, so it found it. Click on change. The spell check is complete. Click OK to dismiss this dialog box. Save your work. You can enter data by first selecting a range of cells. This is a time-saving technique, especially if you're using a numeric keypad to enter the numbers. Let's demonstrate that. Select B as in boy 4 all the way through D7, like so. Please type the same values because we're going to use formula. If you have the same numbers as I do, then you can see whether your formula is correct. Type 533, press the enter key, 612, 833, 988, press the enter key. Notice because we are in a selected range, once I typed 988 and I press the enter key, rather than going to the cell below, meaning B8, it moved to C4, the next available cell in the selected range. Type 620 here. type 3350, 385, press the enter key, 270, press the enter key, type 735, 4380, 550, 350. Click away to deselect your range. Save your work. We're going to construct a math formula. Before we do that, let's review what's an operator, what's an operand. Let's say I have something like this, a plus b. A and b are operands. Plus is an operator. An operator is a function that utilizes operands. Okay, in this case, this is addition. So you could have multiplication, division, modulo, subtraction, and so on and so forth. Okay, let me get rid of that. Go to E4. To start a formula in Excel, you start with equal sign, type equal, and we're going to multiply two values. We're going to take the quantity and multiply that by the retail price. Recall that we never type these values, we type their addresses. In the previous lecture, you have learned that you can either type here the address, in this case for 533, that would be B4, for 735, that would be D4, or you can point and click, whichever way you prefer to do, please do so. I am going to click here. I'm going to press the plus sign to denote the operator that I want to use and click in this cell to get the second operand. This is my formula. Click on the soft enter key to keep this cell active. Find fill handle like so. When the cursor changes to this shape, drag the fill handle all the way down to propagate the formula to the rest of this selection. Let's review the formula. Click away, click here. This is B4 plus D4. Here we have B5 plus D5. Here we have B6 plus D6. And here we have B7 plus D7. You can see that in the formula bar. One more thing I want to demonstrate. I used point and clicking, and Excel typed cell references in capital letters. You can type it in lowercase letters. Let me just clear all this. Let's do it that way. So equal, yeah. Instead of pointing and clicking, it is B4 times D4. Both are in lowercase letters. Click soft enter key. Notice what Excel did, it changed it to uppercase. Grab the fill handle, not times, sorry, this needs to be plus. Made a mistake, so this needs to be plus, no problem, let's edit that. Soft enter key, we get the value, find fill handle, propagate the formula down. These are click away and save your work. Select range B4 through B7. So B4, here's B, here's B4, B4 all the way through B7, like so, B4 through B7. Apply comma style here. And under the number group, decrease number of decimals. You can increase or decrease number of decimals. Go ahead and decrease like so. So there's no decimals in here. Notice that comma style has a space after the number. Select range E4 through E7. So E4 through E7. One quick look at the status bar down here. You see that it computed average, count, and sum. Okay, you can customize that by right-clicking and choosing which functions you want Excel compute for you. So anytime you select, I could select 533, 533, hold the control key, 3350, 550, 138. Oops, let's do it one more time, like so. When you look down here, one quick glance, it tells you that average of selected cells is this, count is that, count is 4, and the sum of them is that. Right click on it and pick and choose what functions you want Excel to display here. These are most commonly used functions. This is a very nice feature. If you're working on a spreadsheet and you really need to know a quick sum or quick average of a couple of numbers, you can just select them like so, and it tells you immediately what the average is, count is that, and sum is that. This is known as the auto-calculate feature, and it displays calculations for the functions that you have chosen by right-clicking here and choosing which functions. If you don't want the count, dismiss the count. Now when I select these 4 values, it just gives me average and sum. I'm going to go back and put the count, so it is performing those calculations. Here it is. Count. Recall that the quick analysis tool displays when you select a range of data. This is convenient because it keeps common commands close to the mouse pointer. Let's select E4 through E7 again. So E4 through E7, and this is quick analysis tool. You can also invoke it by pressing Ctrl Q. Let's see what functionalities we have. We could format them like so. We could create charts, we could create totals, we could create tables. Click on totals and choose sum, and there it is. It computed the sum for us. Click away and save your work. Let's inspect this. Click here, and it is the sum function, pretty much the same as the auto sum function from here. Select the range C5 through D7. C as in Charlie 5 through D7. Apply comma style with 0 decimals. Click on comma styles and remove decimals by clicking this command here. Click away, save your work. Select range C4 through E4. So C4 all the way through E4. And cell E8, because they're not adjacent, hold the Control key, like so. Apply the accounting number format with 0 decimals. Click accounting number format, decrease number of decimals like so. Click away. Select this row, like so, with the method of your choice, and apply total cell style. Here's total cell style. Click away, save your work. Go to F4. F4. The heading for this column is % of total retail value. Here is total retail value, and here's the sum of all retail values. To compute the % of total retail value, you're going to take this value divided by this value. That's going to give us this entry. Then this one divided by this one, that's going to give us this entry, and so on and so forth. To compute that, start with equal. Click here to use E4. And your operator is division, like so, with a /, and click on this one, E8, then press the soft enter key, and you get that this is 0.14, that is 14%. Use the fill handle to drag all the way down. We have a slight problem here because we have what is known as division by 0. You also see this warning sign, and if you hover over it, it says that the formula or function used is dividing by 0 or empty cells. You can click on it to find out more. It says divide by 0 error. Okay, that's not much help. Help on this error, click on that, and now it's searching in Microsoft Office to see if it can find any help. How do you correct that? Gives you information how you can correct it here. All right, I'm going to close this because I'm going to show you the reason why this is happening. What is happening? You need to examine the formula bar. We look at this one. This one is computed correctly, and it's E4 divided by E8. Let's click on this one. This one says E5 divided by E9. Here's E5. What is E9? E9 right here, it's E9. I don't have any values in it. When you click here, it says E6. So here's E6 right here. what is E6 has a value, but what is let me see here, it's E6 divided by E10. So here's E9, E10 is this cell here, so it doesn't have any values. Rather than pointing and clicking like we did here, you can click on formulas. Here in formula auditing has a very nice feature called trace precedence. Click on trace precedence. We need to click on the cell first. So you click on the cell that's giving trouble and you want to see how that formula was computed. And it shows you this cell and this cell participated in this formula. And it's very easy to see that this has no value in it. Let's go ahead and click on this one and let's trace its precedence. And it tells you that it's this cell and this cell that were participants. It's very easy to see that there's no value here. That's why you're getting division by 0. If you want to dismiss these precedents, click remove arrows. So now that we know what the problem is, how do we fix this? What Excel did here is the default behavior. We used fill handle, and here we have E4, E8. Here we have E5, E9. Because we moved from F4 to F5, and because here we used E4 divided by E8, the default behavior in Excel is as you move from row to increase the row number. So it increased E5, which is correct, but then increased E9, which is not what we wanted. We want this value to be static, to be constant, not to change. What I just described to you is known as relative reference, and that is default behavior. If you want to make this value constant, then you need to use what is known as absolute reference. That is easily done in Excel. Go to the formula. Here, click before the value that you want to make constant. Then you need to press function key F4. If you're on a laptop, you have a FN key, so press that, and then on top of your keyboard find function key labeled F4. Press that, and Excel adds $sign in front of E and $sign in front of 8. Click the soft enter key, use the fill handle to propagate the formula, and now it is working correctly. Let's go ahead and examine precedence. Click here, trace precedence, click here, trace precedence, click here, trace precedence, and you see that E8 remains constant in the calculations. Okay, remove arrow. So that is the difference between an absolute reference and a relative reference. To reiterate, relative reference refers to a cell by its position relative to the cell that contains the formula. Absolute reference refers to a cell by its fixed position in the worksheet. In our example, this was E8. Save your work. Double click cell F4. Let me show you one more way to do this. Let's say you have a problem with your, let me accept that. And let me propagate the formula again. So now I'm back to this problem of division by 0. I need to fix this formula, but for whatever reason, maybe my keyboard is broken and I can't find function key F4, or my FN or function key on the keyboard doesn't work. Whatever the reason may be, very quickly you can click before the cell reference that you may want to make absolute and type $sign. Use the arrow key to move your cursor before the row number. Type the $sign. Accept it by clicking on the soft enter key. Use the fill handle to propagate the formula, and it works again. So several ways to accomplish the same thing. Click away, save your work. Click cell B as in boy 5. Right here, B as in boy 5, we have value of 612. Let me copy it. Let me move it over here so that we can put it back if we need to. As I mentioned in the introduction to this lecture, when you use formulas, these values here, they are connected. Here I have E5 divided by E8. Okay. Let's change the value of this cell and type 0 here. Before you press the enter key, watch the original values. Go ahead and press the enter key and see how everything changed. Type 1 here. See how this changed. Type 400. Press the enter key and you see how this value changed. We can copy this back and paste it back in here. Press the enter key and values change back to what they were before. The takeaway from this is that Excel automatically recalculates the results. This is a very powerful feature of Excel. Double click cell D5, so D as in David 5, and make this 5. Double click this, and then change 8 to a 7. Like so, and you see how the values change accordingly. You can change numeric values, but you can also change values in your labels. Go to cell A2, type word value to the right of the word inventory. An easy way would be to click here in the formula bar, press the space bar and type value. Like so. Press the enter key. Go to cell B3, B as in boy 3. We have quantity. With the method of your choice, add on hand after the word quantity. This time double click here on quantity. Use the arrow key to get to the end of the word. Press the space, type on hand. Press the enter key for that to take hold. Save your work. Select range F4 through F7. We want to change this to make it display percentages. Go to Home tab. In the number function group, find percent style. Click percent style, and this gives you percentages. Increase the number of decimals to 2. Increase number of decimals to 2, like so. Click away and save your work. One more thing before you save your work. With the selection still in place, center these values. Click away, save your work. I would like to insert a row in this spreadsheet here. Go to the row heading, row 3, specifically here. Once you see this arrow, once your cursor changes to this arrow like so, right click, and that's gonna simultaneously select the row and show the shortcut menu. Scroll down and find insert. When you click on insert, it's gonna insert row above the current row, and there it is. It's inserted one row above. In the cell A3, type as of June 30, as of June 30. Press the enter key. Actually, let's select this, select that, all the way through F, merge and center, and in cell styles, apply heading to style. Now we know how to insert a row. Let's insert a column to the left of column B. Very easy. Select your column like so. Hover over your column. You can right click and click insert, and that's going to insert a column to the left. Let me show you another way. Let me undo this like so. So I'm here, I've selected this column. Make sure you're in the Home tab. Go to Cells function group, click Insert, find Insert Sheet Columns. It's going to insert column to the left. Similarly, you can insert rows. If you select a row like so and click on Insert, you have choice to insert sheet rows. There it is. Control Z to undo that. Click away and save your work. So cells B4 through B8. Type city here. Press the enter key. Type Medford. Press the enter key. Bend, and Corvallis. 2 L's in Corvallis. So we know how to insert rows, we know how to insert columns. Let's delete a column. Very simple. Select column D. You can right click, shortcut menu, and click delete. There you go. You can also go to delete and delete sheet columns if you need to delete. Click away and save your work. Select columns B through F, B, C, D, E, and F. Set their width to 105 pixels. Navigate to the border between any of the two column headings. Once the cursor changes to this left mouse button click, this says it is 136 pixels. Keep moving to the left until you see 105 pixels. Release. And there you go, you have 105 pixels width for all of these columns. Click away. Notice that you have these hashtag symbols. That is Excel signaling that it doesn't have enough room to display these values. We're going to adjust that a little bit later. Select B4 through F4, like so, with the method of your choice. Wrap text, like so. Click center and click middle align. Before I click middle align, I want you to watch the city here. City is by default, it is bottom aligned. When I click on middle align, it's going to position that in the center of the row height. So go to cell styles and apply heading 4 style here. Now quantity on hand is not appearing nicely here. Retail price is appearing, total retail price, percent of total retail value is appearing correct. So go to the border between C and D, left mouse button click and drag until you have quantity on hand displayed like so. Select range B5 through B8, B5 through B8. Go to cell styles and pick one of these cell styles. Let's say one of these accent to cell style, whichever color you want. I'm going to go for this one here. Click away and save your work. Now this column here is also unable to display these values. That means the width is too small. You can adjust it by clicking between these two borders, left mouse button click and drag a little bit to make those values display. These numbers here do not line up nicely. Select them, apply comma style, no decimal points. Click away, save your work. Go to page layout. Let's find out what is the current theme. By default, it is Office. If you click on Themes, see how Office is selected. You can change this to any of these other themes, like so. Let's see which one I changed. Okay, I'm still in the Office. But you also can change colors. If you don't like the current color palette, you can stay with the same theme. Click on Colors and change color to, let's say, something with a lot of red. You see how my themed color has changed. If I go back here, the themed color that I chose before is not available anymore because I've changed the theme color. I'm still in the Office theme, but I've changed the theme color. Save your work. I think I have one extra here, so I'm going to just select this cell and cell styles. Apply normal here because my range is between A and F. I needed to remove that style. Okay, save your work. Let's go to Backstage. Click File. Click on Info. In Info section here, show all properties and add some tags. Something that will help you remember this worksheet. For me, it's exercise, equipment, inventory, Oregon. For company, type Miami Dade College. Specify subject, CGS 1060. Make sure you're the author. If you're not the author, add yourself as an author. Click here and add yourself as an author. Other than that, we are done. Save your work and close and exit Excel. Please review Canvas for submission instructions if you want extra credit for this exercise. Thank you very much. I will see you in class. Bye-bye now.